Hi everyone, this is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamolen, Psychic Medium. Welcome to a timeless collective love reading for all signs and any sign that you may be thinking of today. Please use these readings to help you to manifest a love that you are worthy and deserving of, or to confirm a love that has come into your life. Let's see what our spirit guides have for all of you. Let's see what's coming your way, what energy may be around you. Spirit, I call upon you for loving messages. What is it that you need us to hear today? What is it that you want us to know? I am listening for you now. I have a bubble rider, riding the bubble, okay? A little bit of riding the wave, right? A little bit of up and away. And I don't know any little kid who doesn't love bubbles. So the number 36, part of me feels like it's playful, right? Bubbles and kind of floating up and watching them go, and they have all those colors in them. So, but more of a riding the wave energy also. I have the flirt, the number 31, flirting with somebody. Okay, someone flirting with you. It's a little bit of a who's this flirting? Who's this flirting energy? Who's this person that's been flirting with you? Okay, so let's see where that goes. Number 31 in that card. And then I have the number 41. I have caffeine, but it's coming into me as a cup of coffee. So that could be the start of something new, that maybe our first meeting, maybe we grab a cup of joe, let's grab a cup of coffee. That's a pretty common date, that's a pretty common introduction. It's kind of a it's not very demanding, right? So it's like, yeah, I can have a cup of coffee with pretty much anybody. So maybe it's, let's grab a cup of coffee and let's talk, and somebody's flirting with you. Could be on or around work for some of you. Spirit, please share with me. I have a 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords. I have an Ace of Swords, and I have a 7 of Cups. It's coming into me as somebody who, I would say that in a very short period of time, we are very honest with our feelings. So it's somebody that you feel very vulnerable with very easily. That it's a sense of, even on our first date, we're talking about some of our old wounds, our old pains, some of our difficulties, things that we've been going through. The 7 of Cups is a little bit more of there's still a lot of things I want to do, or these are things that I'm working towards. So it was more like throwing it out there that there's a lot of things that, like the bucket list, so to speak. So, but I do feel like I can be very vulnerable with this person. And I feel that that is the start of the connection, that there's a sense of, I felt like I could tell this person anything, and it was easy. It wasn't hard to tell this person. I have an Empress. I have a 6 of Swords. I have an 8 of Cups. And I have a 5 of Cups. Yes, I'm definitely committing to, for some reason, and it's not necessarily the best way to start a relationship, but some people are emotional and some people just get right to kind of the heart of who they are, and they start sharing. I've been through a divorce, and I've been alone, and I had a very difficult marriage, or I had a very abusive relationship, or I was very unhappy in my last relationship. So some people get right to the point with that. They share their feelings. And I feel like this is something that connects the two of you, that you realize that you both are able to open up very, very quickly. And you both feel very comfortable in doing that. That feels nice. 7 of Pentacles. I have a Page of Wands. I have a Chariot. And I have a Knight of Cups. So let's say this vulnerability It's almost like we get everything out in the open, spirit saying, and then we kind of look at each other and say, well, I'm definitely attracted to you, no doubt. That's why I've been flirting with you. I was hoping we could sit down and talk. I was really hoping I could get you, one-on-one and see what you're all about and see if there is something here. I do feel like, it's a cup of coffee that turns into like a 2-hour conversation is how I feel, that we don't want it to end. We don't want it to stop. So, and then I feel like we start to look at each other and say, I want to give this a try. I want to spend more time with you. So I'd like to see you again. I'd like to, can we meet again, tomorrow at the same time, or can we meet, in 3 days? And then a beautiful energy of over time that, this love grows. So the vulnerability is, I think you're both very sensitive people. I think you're both very, they're saying, in tune to your emotions. You both are looking for something more this time, is how I feel. This love will grow. This love will move forward, and this love will grow, is how it's coming in. Now, the one thing I love about zebras is there's no two zebras that are alike, and they all have different stripe patterns. So this sense of, I see you as somebody that's so unique, and I connected to you very easily. I didn't have to work very hard, and very empathic, very, there's a sense of empathy and sympathy and vulnerability, like just with this person. So, and they're saying, along with laughter, obviously, we're having a good time. But it's almost like to tell the truth energy. Like, I'm just going to put it out there because I have nothing to lose. I want to be with the right person. I like this feeling of uniqueness, that they see you as something special. Maybe they haven't been able to talk to anybody on a deep level for a long time, and they're saying, I really enjoy talking to you. I don't usually share this information with people, but it feels good to talk about it. So there could be just the sense of they feel safe with you or comfortable with you. Reflecting on your actions. Time decides who you meet in life. Your heart decides who you want in your life. And your behavior decides who stays in your life. I love that. Your heart decides who you want in your life. You always have a choice. You always have this, I want to get to know you. I want to meet you. And then I want to keep you in my life. And I'm going to do things to keep you. I'm going to behave a certain way, or treat you right, or respect you. So absolutely, behavior is huge. Enjoying this romance. Romance is the glamour which turns the dust of everyday life into a golden haze. So I'm going to enjoy this romance. This could be, I would say that it's a very romantic connection with this Knight of Cups. Maybe everything, even just the simplest of things. It almost feels like, I don't remember the last time somebody opened the door for me, or I don't know, just did little things for me. I feel like I'm taking notice of the romantic gestures. It doesn't mean that you're getting a dozen long stem roses delivered, not to say that you wouldn't, but it feels like I'm just noticing these little things, these little gestures of love. They're beautiful. Farewell, sadness. You know it's love when your feelings don't leave, even if the person does. So I'm going to say you both know what it feels like to have a broken heart. I'm going to say that you both have been there. Maybe that's what you are talking about. I'm assuming that's what you are talking about during your cup of coffee. Grab a cup of coffee and kind of all feelings revealed. It's just this sense of, I'm just going to be open and upfront with you. And that's somebody who wants to be in a relationship because they have nothing to hide. And it's also somebody who's decided that in this relationship, moving into another phase of their own lives, that I want something better this time, because I did have a heartbreak. I was in a difficult situation. I have come out of something. So this time I want to do it better, and I respect that. I have a Pisces energy, Sagittarius. I have a Cancer. I have a Leo. Okay. I have an Aquarius. Let's get one more of these. And I have a Virgo, one more, Spirit saying, and I have your best friend. I'm ready to meet my best friend. I do feel like there's an instant connection, and it's very easy. I'm not even going to put in the category of chemistry, because I'm sure you're attracted to this person, but that it's an instant emotional connection that we look into each other's eyes. There might even be tears in that first conversation, where you're bringing up old feelings that you haven't thought about. That's how comfortable you feel with this person. That's how vulnerable you will be able to be with this person. So I really appreciate that for some reason. I mean, maybe it's a little too soon, but hey, you know what? It depends on the personalities. If the personalities say we can both handle this kind of intimacy on the first meeting, or it just feels right, then that's what you talk about. That's all. I have a Knight of Cups. Yeah, the feelings. It starts out as I was flirting with you. Okay, I've been flirting with you, or I was flirting with you, and then I want to be with you. I have a Ten of Swords. I have a Six of Cups. I have a Death. I have a Queen of Cups. So, someone to love, they said. This person is looking for someone to love. This person is a lover, okay? It's the person who has a big heart. It's the person who has, give you the shirt off their back. Like whoever I'm with, I'm very loyal to. I'm very faithful to. I'm a one person. Okay. So this person has a big heart, and they're looking for someone that they can give their heart to. And that could be you too. You have a big heart, and you're just waiting to share your big heart with someone. Definitely you can see the ending. You can see that I put something to rest. I have a big story to tell, they're saying. So I'm going to say a pretty serious relationship, a marriage, long-term relationship, over, done with, even a widower in some cases. And then it's a feeling of opening up again. Like this feels today to me, children playing, my inner child, ready to go outside and play again. Almost like when you get a new spring coat, and the spring is when you were kids, you had a new spring coat. You could go outside and play with your new spring coat. And I don't know, it just felt like I was putting on my new spring coat. But I felt like I'm going outside to play again. But this person has a big heart. Big heart and ready to give, sign me up, right? So this is somebody that you want in your energy, ready to give. This is not somebody who is not a user. I keep coming across a lot of readings with users, and it's really upsetting because there's so much of it out there. They're just using you for your body. They're just using you to get something out of you. Then they ghost you. They walk away. There's just so much rudeness and selfishness out there. So it's so nice to feel that there are still people out there that have a big heart and that have a big heart to give to you. So I definitely want to grab that. I have a Page of Pentacles. I have a Five of Pentacles. I have a Five of Swords, and I have a Star. They're saying I never gave up. I never gave up. So I either reinvented myself after a difficult situation, after a battle, so to speak. I never gave up on myself. I never gave up on hope. I never gave up on life. I never gave up on love. I just hadn't met the person I'm supposed to be with. So I feel like this star is very important to both you and this person. I feel like you say to each other that, yeah, I still believe in love, no matter what age they're saying. So it doesn't matter what age you are. I don't care. You could be falling in love like you're a teenager. Maybe you thought there wasn't going to be a love like this ever again. That's okay, but here it is. I'm just going to say I never gave up on love, because I think that that's part of the conversation, as I always hoped. I always hoped I'd find somebody like you. I always, I've been looking for somebody like you, all of those feelings. It all starts with a cup of coffee. So if somebody's flirting with you and they ask you out for a cup of coffee, I would probably say yes, because this is going to turn into something so much more, isn't it? Spirit, please share with me some loving messages. If this isn't in your life yet, we're going to use this as a manifestation today. Put this out into the universe. You deserve a big heart. You deserve somebody who's ready to give. So let's see what they say. I just want you to know who I am. Yeah, there's the vulnerability. Right from the beginning, they're either at a stage in their life where they have nothing to hide. They want to do it right. They're not interested in games. And they right from the gate say, well, this is what's been going on in my life, and then you share, this is what has happened in my life. So I want you to know who I am. So you make a good choice. If you want to be with me, then you'll be with me. I love your smile. It's as simple as that. Sometimes that's all it takes. But who is this that's flirting with you? Right? They're saying, I love your smile. I love your hair. I like your outfit. I want to spend my lifetime loving you. I think that you have somebody who they're saying a little bit of a dream come true, of course. It does feel like a fairy tale, but why not? Why shouldn't it be? You've waited for this, or you've been asking for this. Let me be your wings. I want to be in your life, in your world. Now that I see you, everything is different. Very much now that I found you energy, and you are my destiny. Sometimes somebody comes into our life and it starts with something simple. It starts with a smile. It starts with a cup of coffee, and it ends up being this long conversation, and we don't want to say goodbye to each other. And we realize that I just met my new best friend. So I'm going to put this out to the universe. It's beautiful energy. I want this for all of you today, and I'm going to ask Spirit to guide you. I want to thank Spirit for these messages. If you are new to this channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you always for your kind words. If anyone would like to book a private reading with me, I'll put my website in the description below, CathyMamolenPsychicMedium.com. I hope you have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.